Hi guys, what if you were to combine the best features of the widely popular M20C, the X60 RGB, and the X100? Well, you would get this right here. This is the Molus X100 RGB Cam Mackey edition, and this one comes with a little Fresnel that can give you 4.3 times the output, giving you 13,600 looks at 1 meter. But it doesn't stop there. No, where is it? Right here today, they are releasing a $99 spotlight that comes with 10 Gobo accessories so that you can make your background as interesting as you'd like. You can also use this on subject for different types of product photography. The idea of having an X100 that is now RGB, still with the portability of these detachable battery banks, and now a spotlight with a bunch of Gobos. So I can use this thing as a key light, my main light, or I can use it as a fill light, a background light to make things nice and fancy. This is easily the most versatile and useful light that I have here in the studio. Cam Mackey, a cowboy hat wearing genius. Before we get going, I should mention the introductory offer. They're doing it for a limited time, first come, first serve. So if you buy the standard package of the X100 RGB, you will get a free battery grip as well as the magnetic barn doors that attached to this Fresnel. So that is free in the standard package. And if you buy the Pro package, the barn doors are already included, but you get this same battery grip, and you also get a little lantern softbox to go with your fancy light. So that will be down in the description, as well as a 10% off coupon from yours truly, Mark Bennett. You're welcome. And that little advert for the introductory offer leads us directly into our disclosures. This is not an unbiased video. This is a very biased video. Yes, I love Zhiyun, and I have about 9 of their lights going in the studio right now, but I also have an ongoing financial relationship with them. They have sponsored videos in the past. They are sponsoring this video right now, and it's for a collaboration between them and Cam Mackey, who is a creator that I consider a friend. He doesn't consider me a friend, but I think we're friends. We're not like best friends. You know, we don't have an apartment together in the city, but we are friendly, and I really love his work, and I really like what he did with this light. So please let that factor in where it may as I display what it can do. And I do have a couple of criticisms for the light, and Zhiyun is not previewing this video before I put it out, which is pretty cool of them. So I'm just gonna levy those criticisms and then see if they get super mad at me. Anyway, let's proceed. At the end of the video, I'll use the X100 RGB as my key light and the X100 as my fill light so that you can see them in action. But first, let me talk about what you get in the package for the X100 RGB. If you buy the Pro package, you get this very handsome, very Cam Mackey looking carrying case. And if you compare it to the old X100 case, you certainly see it has a lot more style and flair. However, this case is very easy to scratch. It is like a suede type material. Now, Cam did know that when he asked for this material. He likes when things look weathered, when they look beaten and worn and well used. So that's his style, and that's why he wanted it to look like that. On the inside, you have the light itself. I am just amazed still at how tiny an X100. This is a 100-watt light, and it is this small. You can see the chip on board there, the RGB chips, nice and colorful. It is a green and brown color, which goes with Cam's aesthetic. It has a fan on the back to dissipate heat, and I will say I've been using an X100 here in the studio going all the time, and I never really hear the fan. It turns on sometimes, but it is so low it never bothers me. Has a little LCD screen, and all of the adjustments can be made with the 2 little knobs on the side as you cycle through the menu. There is also a nice little app to go along with it, and I will show you that later. Has a power button on the back and a 1/4-20 thread on the bottom of the light itself. You'll also find a matching battery grip with green on the top and a black matte finish. If you compare it to the old X100 battery, it has a much nicer finish, in my opinion, being that black matte finish as opposed to a smooth silver finish. You also have a DC power plug on the inside and a little bag where you can hang the power supply to hang it right off your light stand so it doesn't have to be hanging by the light itself. I like that little touch from Zhiyun. There's also a thick little USB-C cable in there for charging. And of course, we can't forget about the little Fresnel, which can give you a much stronger beam of light when you were looking for it. And if you want to direct that light, of course, we have a magnetic barn door that can be just attached to the light right there. See what I'm saying about it has the best of almost all of the Zhiyun lights put together. Now with the Pro package, you also get a nice size quick release softbox. This is the 40D softbox, they are calling it. And with the previous versions, you really only had a softbox about this big, but look at the difference right there. This will give you a really nice soft light with a large area to diffuse the light coming at you, so that can be used easily as your key light or also your kicker light. I love this larger softbox that can fit right onto the front of this thing. But now we have to talk about this missile looking device, which matches the Cam Mackey aesthetic. It has the green and the matte finish, but this is a spotlight that comes with an adorable little booklet of Gobos, so you can change your background. You can have this as different looks on your photography. I have loved the idea of having a spotlight here in the studio, but most of them are too big, too bulky. I also don't want to shell out the extra cash for something I don't necessarily use all the time, but the idea that I can stick this on this little light right here and get some nice backgrounds there. Pretend I have a window like that. There's real sunlight coming in here into what is definitely a place that doesn't have any windows. The little Gobos magnetically attach right here, and then you just slot it in to your light and then adjust as you see fit. It has a little beam adjuster here on the front as well. Really simple to use and certainly very affordable, and something that I am going to use constantly in this studio. I love it so much. Now, of course, in case you were wondering, all of the new attachments fit the old X100 as they use the same mount, so that's great. And they also fit the X60 that uses the same mount. In terms of battery life, you will get 34 minutes if you are running this full blast at 100%, which I never do with these lights. Usually I'm running them at 20% or less. My kicker is usually running at 7%, so obviously the battery will last a lot longer, but you can also plug this in to mains or through USB and power it that way. Of course, it's an RGB light, but in CCT, it goes from 2500 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin. Has a CRI of 95 and a TLCI of 97, so certainly a color accurate light. You get 3110 lux at 1 meter bare bulb, so certainly plenty powerful for my applications, but you stick on the little Fresnel, you get 4.3 times that output, so that's 12,600 lux at 1 meter. If you are using it in the RGB mode, the color mode, you will get a 3.6 times boost. So you want some nice colorful background back there, you can get plenty of power out of this guy. Now, something you should know about the X100 line and the X60 line, for that matter, is that it is a mini Bowens mount, not a full-size Bowens mount, and it is proprietary to what they sell. So right here, this softbox will work just fine with it. But if you want something bigger than this softbox, say you wanted a big 90 centimeter softbox like I have over here, then you're going to need a large style Bowens mount adapter, and that's where this comes in. These are sold as well on Zhiyun's site. So you connect this right here, and the softbox actually goes into this mount, and the mount is what goes onto your light stand. Because if you were to take a giant softbox and try to put it on the front of this light, it just really wouldn't work. Even if they managed to make the mount big enough, then there's just too much strain on the front. So you want this thing right here on the light stand and have the softbox go into that. That is what I do here in the studio. Now let's talk about a couple of areas. One I think could be improved. The other one is just something that you need to watch out for. So on the back, we have a power switch. And now this, when you turn it on, you have to press it, and then you have to turn the knob enough so that it actually powers on. Now I would really, oh good God in heaven, it's a bright light. Now what I would really like to do is have a switch. Just switch on, switch off. When you have to press the button and then turn a knob, maybe that helps you from accidentally turning it on in your bag. Maybe that is their thinking, but I just think a nice solid switch on, off, that would be a little easier. The other thing is something I don't think Zhiyun can do anything about because it's just the physics of this light, but it generates a lot of heat in the front element. You do not want to touch that after it's been on for some time. It even has a warning here that says temperature is above 150 50 degrees Celsius, so keep things that are flammable away from this element. So you definitely want to take caution and take care to make sure that there is nothing flammable touching this very hot element. So now let's put up the two Zhiyun lights in my setup. I'm going to use the RGB as my main light, and the X100, the original one, is going to be my fill light. Mackey X100 RGB as the key light. The kicker light is the X100 original bicolor edition. That's been my kicker light for years now here in the studio. I love how small it is, so it really takes up a lot less space in my tiny little studio. Let me show you the app while we're at it. Just go to the ZY Vega app. You can add all of your Zhiyun lights to this app and control them all at once. Right now you see I am at 41% brightness and I am overexposing. I shoot 2 stops over for the Leeming LUT in S-Log3, so 41% on an RGB light, that is great. You can see I'm at 5600 Kelvin. You have your green magenta shift if you need to adjust that. You have your gels over here. You have your matching CCT pair. You can also do a color picker. I already tried to pick this color, this pink color, earlier. So let me just show you right now. If I go to this blue one here, now I have a nice blue moody light. I like that. Let's retry, and then we'll go back to that pink one that I had earlier. Let's pick that. Oh, nice moody pink. So see how easy it is to use this app. It's great because you don't have to get up from your seat and adjust any of the knobs or switches. Just do it from the comfort of your phone right here and be able to do all of this stuff. It is pretty great. With price, if you get the standard package, you are going to pay $269, which I think is a very reasonable price for a full RGB 100 watt light. You still get the Fresnel, you get the light, and you get the mains power cord. Now, like I said, if you get that early bird deal, you will get the detachable battery bank, and you will also get the little barn doors that come with the Fresnel in the Pro package. And if you get the Pro package, that will set you back $449, and you will get all of the accessories that you saw in this video today. Don't forget, of course, you get a 10% coupon from old Marky Bennett. I will leave that down in the description. So huge congrats to Mackey for such a successful product collaboration with one of my faves, Zhiyun. I have always loved the X100. Now I have an RGB version with a little Fresnel. Don't forget the magnetic barn doors and all of the other accessories like this big ol' softbox to go along with it. They also released this spotlight with the Gobos. And you know I love the spotlight with the Gobos. So let me know down below if this floats your boat as much as it floats my boat. I really dig this thing, and I am probably going to order a couple of more and just have them all around the studio because they can absolutely do everything. And let me know down below what you think. We'll have a nice little discussion about it. Thanks for watching this. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.